So here I am with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Manhattan Project. I tried this on normal and didn't put it on easy mode. Oh, did I not realize what was in store for me. Everyone has their favorite turtle. Mine is Donatello, but it actually doubled for me in this situation because he has the longest reach, and that helped me out quite a few times in this run. When I go to do the flip over move, I like to make sure an enemy is coming at me from behind. That way I hit them both for damage at the same time and just finish the other one off with a single swipe. It can be a little tricky to get the timing at first without getting hit from damage for the other one coming from your backside, but you'll eventually get a feel for it pretty well. I did notice later in the game at times he had trouble flipping foot soldiers over his head. He would go to do the move, and then the foot soldier would still be standing right in front of me, and I would get hit for damage. And then I'd go to do the move again, and he would flip him over. So, but it didn't happen too often, just enough to be a mild annoyance. And I'm not sure if that was a gameplay issue or not. I did notice at times that he was turning left instead of right to attack, and vice versa. Of course, I have an old controller, and I need to get a new one, so I'd be interested to know if anybody else experiences any of these issues in the comment section. I learned later in the game that right before these guys go to launch their ninja stars, you can still make contact with them and still hit the ninja star back the other way and still make contact with the foot soldier. And with Donatello's reach, it's a lot easier to do that. You may not think damage from sand can deplete your health bar, but in this case it does, so stay clear of it. There's a few different places you can stand here without getting hit for damage. The obvious choice is on the left. I chose the more difficult option. But another option is on the far right. Go as far right up as you can before the signs come down, and you shouldn't get hit for damage there either. You'll have a bunch of trap doors that open up just ahead, roundabout where I am walking. Just keep going slowly, and you should avoid all of them just fine. I decided to play around with Rocksteady a little bit in this battle. I know he eventually, during the battle, he does a segment where he does like charge after charge after charge, so I thought I would wait until he did that and then just do Donatello's move like 4 consecutive times, and it was enough to finish him off. But you might have to wait for it a little bit. Here's where you'll get your first extra life with 50,000 points, and then after that, it's 100,000, 200,000, 3, 4, and then for me it capped off at 500,000. This is the best spot to stand that I found during the time the foot soldiers come out of the water here. The guy at the end on this second string here hit me on occasion if I wasn't positioned just right, but the others I didn't really have an issue with. A trick I did for the minefield up ahead is I just stayed on the top left corner of the screen. The only mines that I really have to worry about are the ones that come closest to his head level. The rest you don't really have to worry about with this strategy. Of course, be ready to move out of the way of the enemies that come out of the water right after that. When these guys start to vibrate, it means they'll start to get ready to attack faulty machinery, but just be ready with the drop kick. And they make 2 passes, so if you miss him on the first pass, you can nail him on the second. This is where Donatello's reach really comes in handy because it made taking out those red cannons in the background a lot easier. You might still be able to do it the way I did it with Leo's katanas, possibly, but you probably couldn't do this with Micro Raph. I did this by accident, but it's a great way to take a break from the action. If you're getting hit on both sides, you can grip the side of the sub and wait for them to wander and then pull yourself back up. But don't wait too long or you'll fall and take damage. These knife guys can be a real pain. Usually they'll get close enough to where you can do a flip over move. Another successful strategy is 2 quick jump kicks. Just make sure you time the jump kicks in accordance with their knife throws. I played around with Groundchuck a little bit when he does his charge, and as you can see, Donatello's reach really helped me get in a few hits on him without sustaining any damage. But when he goes to do his charge, just hang back on one side and then arc your jump to where it's going away from where he's charging, and you'll be able to get over his charges, and then when he gets stuck, just pummel away with whatever you want until he's finished off. I accidentally left my mic on for the next 3 stages, so there'll be a bit of an echo here, so apologize in advance. Unfortunately, there's no way I can drown out the microphone volume in Share Factory, so I had to roll with it. One thing I noticed when facing enemies with guns as I played this game is when I do a jump kick, if I wait and do it at the highest point of my jump and go a little bit in the opposite direction, but still enough to come back around for a kick, that they tend not to try to melee me as much and are still trying to shoot me with the gun. So it's less chance that they will make contact with you. And try to single them out so they're not bunched together when you try to jump kick them. That way you can focus on lining up your jump attack on them, one enemy at a time. These guys are another reason why I like Donatello, because with him they're just too easy. Just beware as you're taking them out, the others may move a little swiftly towards you. Some stages will have higher elevation points that you can jump to, and if you're quick to turn around and start nailing your enemies before they reach you, you can sometimes get some easy kills this way. Slash is another mid-boss that I played around with a little bit. His rolling move, you notice that I time Donatello's attack to where it hits him twice. Once as he's coming towards me and the other when he's coming back around. Time it just right and you can get a quick kill with him. And since you have a free pizza waiting for you after this, you can let loose your special attack a little more generously here. Be warned that the Ninja Star guys and the Boomerang guys can block your jump attack with a punch block and give you damage, so try not to rely on it with these guys too much. Bebop will require some patience and timing, probably more so than what I gave here. Just time your jump attack to where it will hit him on the other side, and then you'll usually have time to do a quick swipe as well. But if you mistime it, he will let you know it with a kick of his own. And try not to get too close to the truck. When you feel yourself getting too close to where it will hamper movement, back away, and he will follow you, and you can start again.
I know what you're going to say here. Kelly, why didn't you just drop kick him? And yes, a drop kick is the more effective method with people carrying things. But you have a brief window where you can do a single strike and then dart out of the way before it drops on you. But your timing has to be flawless, and as you can see there, mine was not. But it's like a challenge. It's harder to do, so of course I'm going to try to do that one instead. It's just my thing. But definitely go with the jump kick at first. And then you can be more daring like I am if you want to. This first attack by this rock soldier is why I suggested trying to kill them separately, because with them being at different levels of the screen, you're trying to jump into a group, you're more than likely going to get hit with a melee attack. But sometimes they're all over the screen, so sometimes you don't have the luxury of picking them off separately, but just try to do the best you can. A handy thing about the rewind feature that came with the Cowabunga collection, when you start to see foot soldiers sliding down a pole, rewind it just before that, and then go over to it, stand right next to the pole where they jump onto the screen, and immediately do a flip kill. This is a quick, easy way to get the job done. You have poles at the very beginning of the first stage that you play, right here. And another place to do this is in the Technodrome. When foot soldiers start to appear out of the teleporter, same strategy, just camp next to where they'll appear on screen and use the rewind feature if you have to get a better idea of where to stand. Quick, easy kill. I played this game when I was younger, and sometimes I don't remember stuff that I did right away. The next time I faced these guys in the subway, it dawned on me that when they did their flying splash, I could time it in accordance with my flip attack and send them flying over my head. I loved to try to get the timing down on that. Some enemies will require you to precisely plan where they're going to jump to, especially if they're jumping all over the screen like that guy in the white was. That way you can anticipate where he's going to land and be waiting for him. This is what I was talking about before with the rock soldiers. See how they quickly move diagonally towards you as you're hitting one of their fellows. So even if you're using Donatello, you still have to keep an eye on them. One way you can jump kick the ninja star and the boomerang guys is to wait until they throw their weapon, and then right when they're about to throw it, do a jump kick. You won't have to worry about them punch blocking you. If you do the jump kick after the boomerang guy gets the boomerang thrown, just be ready to get out of the way of the boomerang when it comes back. Later in the game, I got pretty good at telegraphing where to land while they're coming across the screen, and you can do a flip attack on one of them, and then it will immediately break up the barrier that they're coming across the screen with, and they'll be trying to attack you. I was not expecting to pull that off with the little health that I had, I'll be perfectly honest. This is the first time I faced this boss, so my strategy was to use my special attack as much as possible to whittle away his health, enough to come up with an effective strategy. But I started darting between platforms, and I knew roundabout when to start his special attack, to where at the end of it, it could still hit him for damage. So those two things were enough to keep him off balance enough for me to walk away with the win. But hey, better to be lucky than good sometimes too, right? But this is just an example. Even if you think you're near certain death, keep persisting, don't quit, because hey, you never know. You could walk away with a surprise win just like I did. When they jump out of the water right here, if you're standing in their path, they will hit you for damage, so make sure you stay clear. One thing about using the water and making the foot soldiers come to you is if you stand too close to the edge, they can still hit you for damage while on the upper platform. So make sure you're a little bit into the water to keep that from happening. One thing you notice right here is when I did a flip attack and this guy wasn't necessarily behind me, but he still got hit for damage. So if you have two enemies that are coming up on you from one side, if you do a flip attack, you'll still do damage to the other one.
You know, it's kind of funny. After trying to face this mini-boss coming up once, I checked the playthrough video that came with the Cowabunga collection to see how he did it, and I tried to mimic it. I tried to do a series of quick jump attacks and trying to stay out of the way of his fireball, but his mousers made that nigh impossible, to which I had to resort to just my special attack to try to finish him off. But we started talking about how luck was with me on the last boss, and while that may be true, I started thinking, you know, the guy that did this particular playthrough and this particular boss must have had more luck than I would ever hope to have, because how he manages to avoid a single fireball or a mouser for flawless performance during that whole exchange, I will never know. It wasn't until afterwards that I found out all the watch videos that came with the Cowabunga collection were done by machine, not human player. So afterwards, I'm sitting there going like, oh, yeah, really? No wonder. So I'm supposed to try to replicate a machine's performance? I'm supposed to try to mimic that to come away with a win? If I was to have to do that performance for a passing grade on my final exam in high school, I wouldn't even walk away with a 70. I would be failing that. I was trying to get to the boss with just one life, but I finally threw caution to the wind with this guy. He was a big pain for me, and I was accidentally hitting the menu during play. I should have remapped the controls to avoid this, but I just decided to roll with it. I also noticed on the ones that do the slide attack, they're a lot faster getting their punches out than the regular foot soldiers, so going in and out of the water trying to throw them off balance doesn't really work as effectively on them.
strategy on Leatherneck seemed pretty simple. Jump attack in, jump attack back out when he does his tail whip attack, and you have to repeat that a little bit. Every once in a while you have to go up or down to get out of the way of his shotgun blast. But you have to persist with that a little bit because he had about close to 200 HP if memory serves, so it takes some time and patience. But when he turns red is when I start to have trouble, because right before he turns red he starts that stranglehold move, and that takes away 2 health bars per hit. And I had problems staying out of the way of that. And the watch video that came with this game made it seem like it was easier to avoid that than what it actually is. Shocker, I know, but at least it was for me. Maybe other people didn't have problems with it, but I sure did. So after that, I just was hoping that I had enough health and special attacks to finish him off. These robots coming up is another advantage of Donatello's reach. I can usually get in 2 regular swipes of his bow if I'm fast enough before they jump backwards to fire at you, or you can easily reach them for a flip attack. Just don't try to use your jump attack on them. Just trust me on this. When these smaller ones open up, you have just enough time to get in at least 1 attack before they attack, but you have to be positioned just right, and for this instance I clearly was not. But you can usually get in a quick flip attack move on one of them before they start attacking. Every once in a while I manage to get 2 in, but like I said, you have to be quick and you have to be positioned just right. Now you see why I suggested don't try a jump attack on the robots, because you will never make contact with them, and then you run the risk of getting hit for damage yourself, so never try it with these robots. Sometimes it's a good idea to use your jump attack not just for an attack, but to quickly get to the other side of your enemy, just to keep them off balance enough to where you can get the upper hand. It's funny sometimes when you take out an enemy so quickly, the rest in the group seem to zero in on you, almost as if, "Oh really? You killed my buddy! How dare you!" You know, after I did this jumping in, I realized that I didn't even have to jump at all, because as long as you hug the wall up top, or you come from the bottom, you'll never get hit for damage. Just don't go into the middle. And you can do regular swipes while standing next to them as well, and you'll dispatch them without them ever hitting you. After dispatching these two, I wanted to get my bearings, so I stood in the middle of these televisions and completely forgot about these balls coming down. So I just got incredibly lucky that I didn't get hit there. So I guess the force was with me on that one.
I personally found it easier to take these things out from the upper platform versus just jumping around at them, because you can do your swipe attack a lot faster than a jump attack. They might get in a lucky hit every once in a while, but I found this strategy a lot easier. Here's where you can do that strategy that I suggested when foot soldiers are sliding down the poles. Just camp right about where I am. As soon as they come out, just do a flip attack on them. My strategy here was pretty simple. Stay on the bottom and let the soldiers come to you and use a flip attack on them. One quick, solid, easy motion. That way you can focus on the lasers. And the ride will end, and then you'll have probably a few stragglers left, and then you can finish them off however you want. Later, after watching the video, I noticed that I had more luck doing my jump attack going through his body versus aiming for the top part of his head like I had to do with Bebop and some of the other characters. So I would focus my jump attack there. Maybe maybe the top of his head has like a spike trap on it or something, I guess. We'll go with that anyway, right? But I tried to last until he did his ice attack, which as soon as he did that, I immediately went over there because I don't get hit for damage, and just did Don's ice
super move, and it was a constantly damaging wheel, so it got him red in no time flat, and I was able to finish him off. Even I knew I was not going to pull off another upset win with 3 units of health, which I think is what I had on that last boss that I pulled off an upset. Even I'm not lucky enough to get that 2 times in the same run. But this is another instance where Donatello's reach really came in handy because his basic swipe was I managed to unleash far enough to where it kept him from doing a basic sword attack of his own. And he blocked my jump attacks every once in a while, so kind of mix it up a little bit to keep him guessing. As you can see, if you get too close to him, he'll do that move where he slams you into the wall. You know, I haven't played this game in a really long while, so when I got to this point, I briefly thought for a second that I'd beaten the game, but then when I realized, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's never this easy, is it? I mean, I haven't even faced Krang yet. I just decided to cling to the platform after the thing exploded and then hop up there and then try to take as many of them out with a regular attack as I could. I didn't really want to use a special attack because I didn't want to drain his health. And I didn't want to risk a jump attack either because the mousers can knock you off the platform. So I just had to stick to the basics here. Keep in mind that when you fight enemies on flying discs, that when you knock them off the podium, it doesn't count as one of their hits. You just knock them off the podium. You still have to either do 2 swipes of your regular attack to finish them off, for example. I tried to stay in one spot here and not move around too much, but the second my shadow grew a little bit larger, I would move as less as possible, just enough to clear the dumbbell, which are apparently being tossed out the window by weightlifters who are apparently getting rid of their old ones because they bought new ones and are just throwing them out their window and into the street. Yeah, I guess that sounds good. I felt like the battle with these 3 rock soldiers was more like a game of chess than it was a part of a beat-em-up game. This foot electrical sign in the background can hurt you if you get too close to it. And the boss, when you face him here, can also slam you into it. One of the issues I had with Tokka is differentiating when he's about to do his lunging, eating attack at you, I guess we'll call it. Don't try to counter that with a jump kick because you'll still wind up with your head in his mouth. The easiest counter that I found is just a single swipe with Don's staff, and he'll stand still for a second or two before he does it. That way you'll know to get ready for it. And if even with as long of a reach as Dawn has, this still took a bit to get the timing down. So if you're using somebody like Raph or Michelangelo, you may have some problems with it at first. But that's one of the handy things about the rewind feature is like you can practice your timing with that. And then he'll also have 4 rounds of jabs that he'll do at you. Hop over him or try to nail him with a jump kick if you can. I was trying to aim for the back of his shell and I still couldn't hit it cleanly with no damage every time. And then after the 4th jab hit, he'll start to jump backwards. Try to get in as many hits as you can on him. If you're lined up perfectly, you can hit him with a jump kick as he's jumping backwards, and then try to get in like a flip attack or a couple of swipes and then immediately jump back before he starts retaliating. And I just kept up this strategy until I was able to finish him off. So in preparation for the final 2 bosses, I was determined to just get through the rooftop stage with just 1 life lost, including the boss battle. So that was by far the hardest part of the game for me because I figured I needed all the extra lives I could muster for Krang and Shredder. It can be a little tricky to dodge this rolling attack your first time through this stage, so be looking for it at the edge of the screen. That way you're ready to get out of the way. And you'll have another one later in the level where they do it on 3 different passes consecutively. After my frustrating time with the large mouser before, I decided to keep it simple, just use my special attack and just keep welling away. The quicker I got rid of him, the quicker I got rid of the mousers, because, I mean, I couldn't really dodge the mousers. They just come at you too fast and too many. I tried not to hit the electrical barrier, but I still strayed a little bit too close to it, so be forewarned. I was hoping to get him trapped in either the far left corner like I did Rahzar, or maybe on the bottom right screen and just use my special attack if he would stay there long enough, but he didn't. But with Rahzar, it was just a constant rotating, hitting again and again, and I killed Rahzar in no time, but I couldn't get the mouser to stay there long enough, so, you know, oh well. The timing for pizza does not come any better than that, folks. I noticed that the guys in the pink uniforms eventually got off the flying discs if you just avoid them long enough. They did the same thing when I was riding the escalator up to the roof to face Tokka in the earlier stage. So you can just avoid them if you want to, especially on the escalator where there's not a lot of room to maneuver anyway. It actually might be better to just try to avoid them until they eventually get off by themselves in that particular area. I look at myself doing that twin double jump kick attack, and I'm asking myself why I didn't start doing that on enemies earlier in the game. But no, I have to wait and do it on the last 3 enemies before you face the 2 bosses of the game. Krang has an Achilles heel that I was able to exploit here, and make sure that you, when he launches those grenades out of his chest, make sure you're on the ground. And when he's in the corner, it didn't look like my swipes was affecting him right there, but later I found out that my flip attack did, so experiment with that. But for me, I had to switch to a flip attack to make sure I was hitting him for damage when he was trapped on the edge of the screen there. And but when he gets right there, you can time it to where you can just time your jump attack when he does his arm missile, and you can just sit there and do that for a while. Eventually he'll unleash his missiles like that, and when he does that, just start using your flip attack like I finally started experimenting with there, and just start doing that until he splits himself in 2, and then get ready for a very frustrating time. Just it can be really difficult because you've got his legs, you've got the hammer that he tries to hit you with, and then lasers out of his eyes. So you've got 3 different things that can hurt you, flying around, running around all over the place. So just try to stay out of the way and try to get in hits when you can, and he'll eventually pull himself back together, and then you can kind of get him trapped back in that corner again. And he might start doing his electrical attack a little bit more frequently at that point, but he'll be near death, so just keep at it. And when you have him on the edge of the screen and he knocks you back, try to get over there as quickly as you can before he moves from the edge of the screen so you can keep exploiting that. It's funny, this coming up, it's like his mallet has already made contact with the ground before I land near him, but yet it still looks like he flattens me with it. My mindset was, since his mallet was on the ground, that I might could get in a quick hit or two on him while in that position, but oh well, so much for that idea. I knew I would need a lot of my lives for that battle. One thing about Shredder is when he does that energy blast that comes right at you, you can get out of the way and still get in a few hits on him before it aims at you, like this one right here. I got really lucky, it didn't hit me there. But I started using a jump attack to get some distance between us later in the battle, and then that way I was able to, right when it was about to hit me, I went up and a little bit towards the opposite direction of where it was going, and I managed to avoid it a good bit. I didn't perfect it in this battle by a long shot, but again, that's one of the handy things about the rewind feature is you can practice getting out of the way of the first one, and then if you miss it, just rewind it and try it again until you get the timing down perfectly. And getting the jump attack on him was a bit of a struggle. I think I finally started doing like a fast drop it kick on him instead of a slower one. That seemed to far better against him. Just do, as soon as you jump, just immediately hit the attack button really quick and really fast. You know, beating the game in one go without using any continues is a personal triumph for me. I was not trying for a no-hit run by any means. I'm not ready for that kind of stress in my life. But the hours and hours that younger me spent trying to do this when I was younger, he's jumping up for joy right now. So had a lot of fun reliving memories with this game. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit like and enjoy the credits, and that's all there is to it. I will see you next time. May no more Mother Mousers get made. Can I get an amen? On a final note, I am just now realized after seeing this picture that Super Shredder's fireball turns you back into a turtle. I'd completely forgot about that from my younger years. I'm really glad that I didn't find that out during battle.